So guys, today we have a couple supersets. So it's 3 supersets. So 2 exercises. And we're going to be going at each superset for 7 minutes. Okay. So doesn't sound too bad. It's really, and it really can be made easier or harder, kind of depending on the intensity you come at it with. Obviously, just like anything we do, anything that's timed, the harder you go, the harder it will be. But especially for these things where it's like, okay, you have 7 minutes, it'll really be made more challenging depending on how much rest you decide to take. So if you're working, like, you could essentially make this like a 50-10, work 50, rest 10 mentality. Or if you need more of a recovery workout, it could be more of like a 30 work, 30 rest. But that's kind of the general setup for it. And on top of that now, so to start kind of for the first 2 exercises, I chose a couple kind of like explosive strengthening and then also core and conditioning. So for the first 2, I have us doing touchdown squats, which are gonna just I'm not looking forward to them. And then bear crawls, which I'm also not looking forward to after the touchdown squats. But it's going to be 10 reps for each of them. Or when I say 10 reps for bear crawls, all I mean is 10 steps forward and back. But I guess I'm supposed to show them to you. So for touchdown squats, we are, you can't even see my feet. There we go. All right. So you're here touching the ground, jumping up. All right. So that's kind of like just being as explosive as you can. Obviously, the more explosive you can be, the better. If you need kind of regressions for that, it would just be so kind of like a version, almost like you're doing a kind of like squat mobility drill, trying to make sure you're touching the ground for stability, just trying to get as deep into that squat as you can. For 10, and then for bear crawls, like I was saying, 10 just means 10 forward and back. So if you have a lot of space, you can do 1, 5, 2, 5, and then so I just kind of went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would have to do two laps in order to get 10. But yeah, 10 kind of walks forward, 10 walks back, whether that's 1, 2, 1, 2, or whatever, like if you have a small space and you have to do small steps forward and back, that's fine too. Like I'm totally fine, just as long as you're, doing, ends up being 10. And you're gonna want it to be a little longer to give you a little break between touchdown squats as well. So that's for 7 minutes. After that, morning, Carl. After that, we have alternating heel touch squats and bird dog push-ups. So explosive alternating heel touch squats are going to be for power level here. So what that's going to look like. So these are a little, we don't usually do these. We generally stick to things like skaters or things like that. These are somewhat similar to skaters, except they're going to work our glutes a little bit more because there's a little bit more of a hinge. But we're squatting down. I think you can't even really see. I'm touching underneath my feet, pop up, touching the other foot, and you're just going to go back and forth like that. So I'm basically getting down to the point where my hand is touching like the bottom of my shoe, and then I'm exploding up from there. Obviously, regressions to this are going to be just a regular, not explosive version of that, where you're coming down, standing up. And honestly, some of us may need to do this slow once, just to kind of get the stability for this move down, since we don't do these a lot, and since we don't have that side to side to kind of balance this out. And then if that's still too too much, you're just feeling like, oh, this is still like I can't balance like this, I'll either let you do skaters, so kind of like the step skaters, where we're coming down. I still want to see you touching underneath that foot. Okay, so that's going to be the kind of final regression for that one. For stability is going to be that side step, touch underneath the foot to make sure we're getting enough hinge to activate and stretch our glutes, and stepping over. All right, so that's number one. Bird dog push-ups. So power level for this is going to be, can you even see me? Son of a gun. There we go. All right, so these, you're here, you're down, up. I'm lifting, sorry, I was going to settle it. You're going here, here. Push up, here. You're trying to keep your core as tight as you can keep it. These are pretty tough to balance on, so try to control as much as you can. Try to get the arm and that leg up as much as you can. Regressions for this, one regression is doing these from your knees, and then doing a kneeling bird dog on each side. All right, so kneeling push up to a kneeling bird dog. So it's kind of the regressions for that. So a bird dog after each push up. Really make sure you're getting your arms kind of extended up as high as they can go. One reason we're adding this in is kind of to work our backside a little bit more, because it's tough to work at home. So really emphasize that squeeze up with your hand. Really emphasize that squeeze back in your glute. So that's superset number 2. And then superset number 3, core. Again, we got our final superset being core, so we'll see how we do with this one today. These should be super tough. But so first one is side planks with thread the needle. I remember doing these one time, maybe a week or 2 ago. These are just killer. So for these, on your side, you're up, and then you are reaching your hand as like through this, threading the needle, threading your hand through that gap there, and then coming out. All right. All right, so you're going threading through and coming up. 10 on that side, and then 10 on the other side as well. Obviously, the slower you go, the more time under tension you get for that. So after that, we're going to need our slippery surface. So if you have your paper plates or your whatever you have for your slippery surface nearby, great. If you need to get it, go get it. But for this next one, we are doing what is it? Hand walkouts, I think it's called. I think it's hand walkouts. That's what I wrote down. Yeah, slider walkouts. So for these, you're in your push-up position. You're on your toes on the slider, and you are walking forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. All right, so forward, forward, back, back is 1, back, back 1. So you would go forward, forward, back, back 1, 2, 3, going forward and back 10 times. For this one, if it is too hard from the toes, ways you can regress it. If it's hard for your upper body to pull you through, you can drop down to your elbows. It'll probably be just as hard for your core. So that looks like, so I'll turn the angle a little bit. So here you'd be forward, forward, back, back, forward, back, back. So yeah, I would argue those would be similarly hard for the core because you're lower, so your core still has to work hard to support itself. Obviously the pull through is a little easier. Let's see here. You could also do these if it's totally fine for your arms. Well, and it's way too hard for your core or something, you can also drop down your knees and kind of do those from your knees, still making sure you're keeping your hips level, trying not to let your butt stick back, trying not to let them dip. But forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. All right. So you can either do them on your toes, extended, on your toes, and elbows, on your knees, and on your hands. Lots of options to make this easier and harder. So choose whichever option you need. Awesome. So those are the 3 supersets. I am going to get us warmed up now, and then we will get going. So to start off, I'm going to have us do a figure 4 stretch. So we'll be on our backs. So, and we're going to be pulling through, stretching our hip. Try to loosen those up 30 seconds. Breathe in, trying to pull past what feels comfortable. Here we go. Here we go. Stretch in. Good. Keep going. All right. All right, and switch. Here we go. Finding that healthy and comfortable. And good. All right, after that, Spider-Man for the rotations. So here, stepping, rotating, and switching. So 10 steps and rotations on each side. Trying to step as far forward as you can and rotate as much as you can. Go. All right. Good. All right, good, good, good. All right. Once we are done with those, I'm going to have us do inchworms. We'll do 5 inchworms out and back, stretching our hamstrings a little bit. So walking out, keeping our legs straight, walking back, touching our toes and going back out again. 4, 5. Ooh. All right. Once we are done with those, I'm going to have us do some overhead reverse lunges. So hands up overhead, reverse lunging. And we'll do 10 on each side. And you're trying to keep that body as upright, trying to get those hands as upright as we can and straight. Trying to Get as good a posture as we can get with these. Here we go. All right, once we're done with these, I'm gonna have us do kind of slow motion lateral squats. So we'll come down, stretch for 3 seconds, come up and switch. 1, 2, 3, kind of feeling that stretch kind of right through inner thigh. And on these, try to make sure your back's staying flat. So even though I'm hinged forward, my back's still staying nice and flat. Making sure all those posture muscles are staying active. I'm supposed to be doing 5 of those on each side. So, good. All right. Okay, once we're done with those, I'm gonna have us do square hops. I'll have us do 10 square hops one way, so 10 square hops one way, 10 square hops the other way. So all right. Once you're done with your 10, let's do 25 jumping jacks and then we'll get going. Here we go. Good. Good, good, good. All right, guys. So, like I was saying before, first 2 exercises, 10 touchdown squats, 10 bear crawls, forward and back. So 10 steps forward, 10 steps back, whether or not you have to go, you know, one step forward on each side, and then and do it going 1 step forward, 1 step back 10 times, or if you have a long enough space, you can do all 10. Just base it on your space. Cool. All right, so we're gonna be doing that one for 7 minutes. I will get our timer started here. Best of luck to you. All right, here we go. Starting in 10. Here we go. Let's get it. Touchdown squats. 1, go. Try to get to as many times as you can.
Really explode up on these touchdown squats. Yo. My father feeling it. Oh, it's not. I move the oceans if you want me to. So you know that it's all worth the wait. I promise that we'll make our memories out. It's all right, friends that you dreamed about. You made me find something real. There's something real. Clouds block the sun and rain on operate. I see the light through the trees like I did the day. You made me find something real. There's something real. Here we go. Keep pushing.
I wanna tell the world about it. Give a little something more of me. Show everyone that ever doubted. I got a whole lot of fire left in me. I wasn't ready to be honest. Knowing I know I owe it to myself. So from that day I made a promise. I get up and to myself. I'm brave, even when the fear is staring in my face. Oh, I'm brave, I'm brave, I'm brave. I wanna tell the world about it. I'm gonna put it up in light. Till everybody says the party is on. You won't go, I won't go without light. I'm weak. Even when the fear is staring in my face. Oh, I'm brave. I'm brave.
3, 2, 1, done.
Oh. Nice. Okay, that was I'm all right up. I'm sweating. All right. So now, all right. Next superset is our alternating heel touch squats. Whether or not that's slow motion, explosive, or kind of like a skater. And then bird dog push-up. So whatever level of a push-up you are, into a bird dog if you're doing a kneeling push-up, into a kneeling bird dog if you're on toes, kind of like a completely extended version of that where you're only being supported by one hand and one toe when you're at the top. All right, those two, 10 of each, for going through as many times as we can again for 7 minutes. I think I got through like 5 times on that last one. That was crazy. All right, well, let's go, guys. Starting here with our alternating heel touch squats. 7 minutes. Woo! All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Babe, don't make a sound. 2 a.m. love, gotta keep it down. Don't wait around for a signal now. Give me some verb, I ain't looking down. You wanna ride in the 6, you wanna dine in the 6. And when I leave for the kiss, you said I'll probably send you some pics. And I'm like, hell no, been waiting too long. Hell no, I want that cool love. Hell no, been waiting too long. Hell no, I want that cool love. Body on my, losing all my innocence. 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 Body on my. Just hit the pedal. If things go wrong, it's just incidental. My bad, never got the memo. You never have fun while you're in the limo. Yeah, you wanna ride in the 6, you wanna dine in the 6. And when I leave with the kiss, you said I'll probably send you some pics. And I'm like, hell no, been waiting too long. Hell no, I want that cool love. Hell no, been waiting too long. Hell no, I want that cool love. Losing all my innocence.
Down, you feel touch squats.
Innocence. Body on my, losing all my innocence. Body on my, body on my innocence. Body on my, losing all my innocence. Body on my, body on my innocence. On my, on my, on my, on my innocence. On my, on my, on my, on my innocence. On my.
At the bottom.
You and me alone is the way.
Whenever everybody going back to the
I can feel your heartbeat crossing mine. Looking for the perfect way to show my feelings. I can always count on parachutes. I'm letting you know, yeah. Let's see how much shines with you.
Oh, my shoulder. 3 minutes to go. Oh. 12.
I should grow up someday, 'cause I got bills to pay. I can't be waking up at someone else's place. I know I drink too much, can't pay my rent this month. I should be saving up, but I just got paid. I know, but I'm going. Don't know where we're going. We go in, but we go out. I just got paid. I know, but I'm going. Don't know where we're going. We go in, but we go out. I just got paid.
25 seconds left.
Three, two, one, done.
The push-ups. Oh my gosh. Push-ups usually aren't that bad. Oh, I think it was the Bears. Oh, all right. After this, guys, side plank with thread the needle. First one. Slider walkouts or kneeling. Slider walkouts or elbow slider walkouts or elbow and kneeling if you need it. And taking rest as you need. I'm gonna definitely need some rest during this superset, just based off how my shoulders are feeling right now. Ooh, all right, let's get it. So 10 for the reps, 10 thread the needles on each side, 10 hand walks forward and back. Let's get started in 10. Here we go.
2, 1, go.
Wave you like a sailboat. When you hit a hand, there you go. Montana with funky sound. Sagala got the London sound.
I should go off they say, stuck in my glory days. I know there's nothing wrong, it's just a passing phase. And when I've had my fun, I feel like be someone. I know that day will come. Oh, I just got paid. I'm over the line. Don't know where we're going. We go in when we go out. I just got paid. I'm over the line. Don't know where we're going. We go in when we go out. I just got paid. With no remorse, ooh, I love it. How we're driving me mad. They're treating us like killers, escape across the roof. We're lying in the danger, we know the truth. We're not giving up, so that's how we gotta be. Just you wait to see. I've decided you and I are cool. Damn right, we're like so unstoppable. We get a little high, we get a little low. Feel like when we're together, there's nowhere we can go. Damn right, we're like so unstoppable.
Would you rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me when I'm by myself? When I need your love, if I need your help, would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? We don't talk much not anymore. Broken bottles and slamming doors, but we still care about each other. Say we care about each other. I know what took us far away, that I still dream about the good old days when we took care of each other. We were living for each other. But I start to wonder if I've been under. Would you rescue Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me when I'm by myself? When I need your love, if I need your help, would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me when I'm by myself? When I need your love, if I need your help, would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Yeah, I miss all the times we had. Can't forget what you can't get back, and you can't find it in another. Man, time, it ain't your lover. I don't care what you got, folks. I'll be there anytime you call. Don't you ever call another. No need to call another. And I start to wonder if I've just been under. Would you rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me when I'm by myself? When I need your love, I need your help. Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Oh, rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me when I'm by myself? When I need your love, if I need your help, would you rescue me? Rescue me?
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1, done.
That's it. Excellent work, guys. Whew. Thank you all for signing on.